I came upon this interesting post on Reddit. Yes, I am a Redditor and even a Discord mod, so the ultimate neckbeard, I guess. Although I don't browse the major subreddits, I only peruse a handful of smaller niche subreddits that are still somewhat tolerable and a bit related to my channel, actually. But I found this post on r/hikikomori, which is titled, "I was raised to be a loser." It goes into determinism a little bit, and it's interesting to see determinism flow into some of these subcultures in opposition to the free will arguments that many of the so-called red pill influencers make. He starts off the post with a few red pill tropes. It reads as follows. You can tell yourself that you need to just lock in and get a job. Stop being a victim. Take control of your life. Life is what you make it. You choose to be stuck, etc. BS, it's all BS. Nobody chooses this, nobody chooses anything. So far, so good. That is the common normie and red pill advice. That you can shape your destiny with your own mindset and actions, but this isn't enough, it seems. First of all, someone who is born, for example, 5 foot tall, is likely never going to be a professional basketball player. Someone who is born with a deformed face is likely never going to be a runway model. Someone who has a very low IQ is likely never going to be a rocket scientist. No matter what mindset or actions people take, some are locked out of various areas in life despite their best efforts. But then also having a positive mindset and the opportunity to take actions seems to be somewhat predetermined. I'm not sure you can conjure up a lasting positive mindset from nothing. What comes first, confidence or success? I would say that good role models and success build confidence. A brain surgeon who went to a good medical school and learned from some great teachers will have more confidence during an operation than some random person off the street. The more successful surgeries the brain surgeon does, the more confident he becomes in his skills and maybe other areas of life as well. To have a positive mindset, it is good to have patterns of success in your past that you can use to build confidence, or at least good successful role models and teachers, like being raised by decent parents or having good siblings. Taking action is another thing though. If you are dirt poor in a third world country and you have to work 10 hours per day plowing the fields just to survive, it's really hard to find the time and opportunities to get out of that situation and become wealthy or successful. Whereas a person born into wealth already has a lot more time, resources, and opportunities to succeed, and also a bigger margin for error so they can take more risks without facing serious consequences. The Hiki Redditor continues, you have no control over who you are or what you are capable of. You cannot fight your inner self. Your inner self was formed due to things out of your control. Genetics, environment, family dynamics, parents, and mostly luck. Everything is just luck. This is spot on. As I already mentioned, there are a lot of things outside of our control that determine if we become a winner or a loser in the game of life. Our physical appearance is very important as it determines our success in many areas such as social and romantic relationships, but it is largely determined by our genetics. Sure, you can work out, lose weight, get a nice haircut, or buy stylish clothes, but so can many other people, whereas genetics are immutable. So-called self-improvement can only do so much. There are hard limits. I'd say it's the same with cognitive skills. If you are somewhat autistic or socially awkward, you're going to have problems maintaining friendships and performing well in job interviews, for example, which will affect your quality of life and success. Again, you can practice social skills and improve, but if you are neurodivergent or something, you might still come off as a bit awkward or strange, which gives off bad vibes to normies, and that's not really your fault. A lot, if not most of our success is down to luck, or at least enabled by being lucky. Yes, we still have to take action, but as Chinese philosopher Sun Tzu said, every battle is already won before it begins. The Hiki continues. My parents are losers, so I became one. It's that simple. My father is a bum who does nothing but watch TV, binge eat, and have mental breakdowns every time you don't walk on eggshells around him. My mother is a cold narcissist, devoid of any genuine love, trapped with my father. Neither have a higher education, have no friends, no hobbies or interests. I'd say if your parents are losers, the likelihood you will become one too is higher than if they are just average parents. Although it's not impossible to win the genetic lottery and inherit all the good parts or the good traits of your bad parents. For me though, my dad is somewhat successful. He has his own business and a big social network of friends from his years in school. But when I was young, he was more of a weekend dad after my parents' divorce, spending most of his time running his business, going to social events, dating, and traveling. He at least made sure me and my mom were financially taken care of, but he didn't raise me properly. He wasn't the best dad, however, also not the worst. My mom, on the other hand, was a bit paranoid, overprotective, and risk-averse. When I was a young kid, she didn't even allow me to cross the street, as she was afraid I would get hit by a car. So I was quite sheltered as a child. Nowadays, I'd consider myself a bit of a loser. That said, I have had periods in my life when I was a winner as well, so I have experienced both sides of the coin. That said, what ruined me though was not my parents but religion. Despite my success, I still felt like something was missing in life, which made me vulnerable to be exploited by religion. I thought God maybe had the answers, but apparently not. While being a serious believer, I had so-called religious experiences and made a lot of bad decisions based on them and the teachings that I had received. In the end, all I got from religion was a mental illness that still affects me today. I'll skip ahead a bit as our hiki continues. Their parenting style was fear into obedience. That formed my personality into a quiet, introverted coward that avoids conflict and responsibilities at all costs, to the point of self-sabotage. Meanwhile, you need the exact opposite personality in order to thrive in this world. They watched me not get an education, lose all my friends, slowly isolate myself, become chronically online, and spend most of my days alone in my room, develop so many issues, and did nothing. As you get older, it becomes more difficult to change who you are as a person. I think it may have something to do with the brain's neuroplasticity. It becomes less flexible with age. Arthur Schopenhauer, the German philosopher, said the first 40 years of our life gives us the text, the next 30 supply the commentary on it. So if you spent a lot of your time just isolated in your room as a young person, becoming a hardworking normie is more difficult as you get older, especially without some serious support from your family and society, and perhaps some good role models. To finish it off, he says, "I choose this lifestyle as the only way of surviving and feeling safe. I have no idea how to escape or change it now. I'm so tired of everything, it really is better to have never been born." Living as a hikikomori means a lot of self-isolation and being dependent on others for your physical needs. It remains to be seen how that will go in the future. It's possible AI will take our jobs and make most people unemployable bums who live on social welfare, or society could collapse back to the Stone Age. The future is uncertain, yet largely predetermined, and things will unfold as they do. Remember to like and subscribe, let me know your thoughts in the comments, and see you again in the next video. Okay, thanks, bye.